Mark and Patricia McCloskey have become famous. They were the couple who were in St. Louis, Missouri, and they successfully defended their home against an Antifa, Black Lives Matter communist mob who was surrounding their home and threatening them and their property while they had, set alight various other properties and businesses and so on. Yeah, Mark was holding a rifle and Patricia was holding a handgun. It's footage that you've almost certainly seen. They were charged for that, for defending their property without actually shooting. Nobody got hurt. They simply stood, brandished their weapon, and successfully defended themselves and their property in so doing. Well, they were charged with unlawful use of weapons. Of course, they didn't use the weapons, they just had the weapons, but that's how they were charged. Again, this is St. Louis, so it's a really leftist place, to say the least. Well, there's been a big development in the case, because the circuit attorney, which is basically the prosecutor, Kim Gardner, infringed on the McCloskeys' right to receive a fair trial, according to Circuit Judge Thomas Clark II. That means that the prosecutor in this case has been disqualified from bringing charges against the McCloskeys, because she, that's Kim Gardner, used the case in a fundraising email. In other words, she tried to raise money by saying, look, I'm prosecuting these people, my political enemies. Fund me. In other words, she proved that this had nothing to do with law, nothing to do with justice. It was a political prosecution. And I hope that the McCloskeys can now sue her, can sue Kim Gardner, and make money, because this was a malicious prosecution, and I think that's evil. I think it's truly evil to use the justice system and to pervert it in such a way to go after your political enemies. I think that's one of the most twisted things that Barack Obama did, actually, when he went after Dinesh D'Souza in a similar way. But what happens now? Well, a special prosecutor will almost certainly be assigned, and he could drop the charges entirely, and that's exactly what should happen, because we have evidence that the entire case was a political prosecution. It's proven that the entire case was political prosecution, and they should never have been arrested. They didn't do anything but defend their home and, persons, while police didn't, which is an important point, right? I mean, if you think that if the city requires you to not defend your home and yourself, that maybe the police would come in and do it for you, but they didn't. For a lot of different, I would say hundreds of different properties in that area, they just burned without protection because Antifa and BLM are protected. Well, the Missouri governor, that's Mike Parson, he's a Republican, and he says that if the McCloskeys somehow are ultimately convicted, he'll pardon them, which means that there's actually no point in a trial at all. This trial is meant to terrorize them, to drag them through court, to waste their time. That's what it's always been about, and also about threatening Republicans, because the McCloskeys, like I said, became pretty famous. They spoke in the Republican National Convention about the right to, defend yourself and defend your property. Anyway, this is a great moment as far as this case goes, and I certainly hope that it's dropped so they can move forward and, of course, sue the malicious prosecutor. Wait, if you enjoyed that video, please remember to like and share. I can't grow without you. Also, if you want to be reliably notified of new videos, don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. If you're able to support the production of these videos, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe at Subscribestar, or maybe get one of the healthier products, or even get some merch.